यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। Hari Om. Goswami Ji is now narrating how this Ramcharitmanas came to him. He said it was composed by Shiva, and then it was taught to Yajnavalkya Rishi. And like this Guru Parampara continued, and then it had reached my teacher. And Goswami Ji says, when I was studying with my teacher, I did not realize the depth of this knowledge. Because both Vakta and Shrota of this Ramcharitmanas Parampara were very of high caliber. They were very deep in their understanding of Shastra, Vedanta. That thing I missed while studying. But still, my teacher again and again kept telling me, kept teaching me the same teaching over and over again. And after that, some things became clear, but still many things were there which were not clear. Now for me to dwell upon that teaching, I'm composing this Ramcharitmanas in my local language. I heard it in Sanskrit. So Goswamiji's teaching in Kashi, with his teacher, was in Sanskrit language. Now he's saying the same thing I'm composing in my own bhasha. Bhasha baddha karabi mein soi, more mana prabodha jehi hoi. So that doha we will chant now after doha number 30th. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. तदपि कही गुर बारहि बारा, समुझि परि कछुमति अनुसारा। भाषा बद्ध करबि मैं सोई, मोरे मन प्रबोध जेहि होई। जस कछु बुद्धि विवेक बल मेरे, तस कहि हऊँ हिय हरि के प्रेरे। निज संदेह मोह भ्रम हरनी, करऊँ कथा भव सरिता तरनी। बुध विश्राम सकल जन रंजनी, राम कथा कलि कलुष विभंजनी। राम कथा कलि पन्नग भरनी, पुनि विवेक पावक कहूँ अरनी। राम कथा कलि कामद गाई, सुजन सजीवनी मूरि सुहाई। सोई वसुधातल सुधा तरंगिनी, भय भंजनी भ्रम भेक भुवंगिनी। असुर सेन सम नरकनि कंदिनी, साधु विबुध कुल हित गिरि नंदिनी। संत समाज पयोधिर मासी, विश्व भार भर अचल क्षमासी। जमगन मुहमसी जग जमुनासी, जीवन मुकुति हेतु जनु कासी। राम ही प्रिय पावनी तुलसी सी, तुलसीदास हित हिय हुलसी सी। शिव प्रिय में कल शैल सुतासी, सकल सिद्धि सुख संपत्ति राशि। सदगुण सुरगण अम्ब अदिति से, रघुबर भगति प्रेम परमिति से। राम कथा मंदाकिनी, चित्रकूट चित चारु। तुलसी सुभग स्नेह वन, रघुबीर बिहारू। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। This particular chaupai we had seen in our Prayojanam. What is the purpose Goswamiji pointed out because of which he is composing Ramcharitmanas? Swanta Sukhaya Tulasi Raghunatha Gatha. Because I get joy in singing Bhagwan's glory, he says that is why I am composing this. And second one is this one, that by composing this, I will get clarity in my thoughts. जस कछु बुद्धि विवेक बल मेरे, तस कहीं हूँ हिय हरि के प्रेरे. I am telling or composing this Ram Katha based on whatever little understanding I have, my intellect, how much ever capable it is. But prerana, what is the driving force in this Ramcharitmanas for me to compose this? He is saying Hari ke prere. Bhagwan is the one who gave me this prerana. In Mahapurushas, Santa Mahatmas, once clear knowledge has taken place about the nature of truth, it is said that Mahatma is Kruta Krutya. Etad buddhva buddhimam syat Kruta Krutyascha Bharata. Whatever has to be gained, they have gained it. Whatever has to be done, they have done it. But we see them working so much and doing so many things in this world. What is it that is prompting them? So it is said it is not their own desire, it is Hari Ichha. Bhagwan is also looking for right equipment, right instruments for him to express his Ichha. So Bhagwan's Sankalpa only becomes Sankalpa of great Mahatmas who accomplish so many things for all of us to benefit. So Goswamiji's work is also like that. He might say he is doing it for his own Sukham. But even after so many years, hundreds of years, we are also getting Sukham from his work. Because that altar of this work was not anything of the world again. Altar of this work of Ramcharitmanas was Bhagwan himself. So if he is composing to know the nature of Bhagwan, when we read it, we should also be able to get that same Sukham. Then again he brings up this point. What is the purpose? Nija sandeha moha brahmaharani karahu katha bhava sarita tarani. I am composing this katha to remove ignorance, to remove delusion, confusion, and lot of agitation, not in the world, Nija. My own agitations, my own confusion and ignorance which is there. Nija sandeha moha brahma harani. Means if knowledge has not removed ignorance, knowledge has not removed agitations, then whatever we are doing to get that knowledge, that thing has not fulfilled its purpose. So what are the things that we do? Either we might end up, like in Goswamiji, he's telling, I'm composing something. Or it might be teaching. sharing this knowledge with somebody. These chaupais, they clarify what should be our purpose while doing any of these things. So even if we are teaching, that prayojanam should be, may this knowledge come and may my ignorance go first. This in Vedantic language is called Varanam. Varanam means what is our inherent motivation, what is our choice with which we are doing this particular sadhana. So Upanishad says, Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha, na medhaya, na bahuna shrutena. In this knowledge of this self, knowledge of Bhagwan, is not gained by pravachan. Neither is it gained by remembering too many things, nor is it gained by doing lot of shravanam. Continuously listening to different lectures or continuously giving pravachan. So this looks like a very contradictory statement. On one hand, you say that swadhyaya pravachana should not be given up. You only told you should do shravanam. Why is Shruti Mata again telling us that none of those things will give us this nature of this self? This is that line. We did all those things, but what was our intention behind doing those things? So Goswamiji says the only intention, the only clear purpose behind doing all those things should be that may we gain this clear knowledge, may our heart be pure, may our mind be purified, and may shoka, may those agonies which are there go away from our mind first. Then everything becomes meaningful. Because later in that Upanishad, Kathopanishad, same sadhanas are given for gaining nature of Atma. That we have to do pravachan, we have to do our study, swadhyaya also we have to do, and we have to do shravanam also. But most importantly, do we want Bhagwan or not? If that is missed, then everything else is there, but it won't give what we are looking for. And that is Shanti. Then what is the nature of this Ramakatha? This also is a very famous chaupai. Buddha Bishrama Sakala Jana Ranjani. This Ramakatha is such that learned people, they find Vishrama. Because they are not looking for anything other than the substance. But what about others? There might be other people also who are there. Sakala Jana Ranjani. They will also get something. They will also feel happy about listening to Ramakatha. If you go to a music concert where classical music is going on, you will see this mix. Buddha Bishrama, Sakala Jana Ranjani. Those who are rasikas, they'll be able to catch the nuances of this musician. And suddenly, if you are not a rasika, you have just gone there for the first time, you'll suddenly see people are clapping. And you also clap, because everybody claps, you also clap. But this is the quality of that work. Means that singer is making sure that even those nuances, those rasikas, they are also finding Vishrama here. But that doesn't mean that others who are not rasikas yet. Rasika means, I don't know what is the best English word, connoisseur. That is something they use. One who knows that art and he is able to find the nuances. For them, you don't need too much of things around that main content. But Sakala Jana Ranjani, so they will also have some kind of lighter music, that which goes fast. Generally people like the fast beat one, and smaller ones. The initial alap and all, that needs that taste. You need to know which raga it is, how it is being done. So Goswamiji says Ramcharit Manas is like that. Buddha Vishrama Sakala Jana Ranjani. This also is another, you know, advice to all sadhakas in whichever field we are, and in particular in Adhyatma Shastra. We should do justice to that particular Shastra. Means whatever we are doing, our aim should be that we have understood it thoroughly. And the approval of our understanding should come from Buddha Jana. Those who are experts in that field, they should be able to endorse us and say that, you have understood it correctly. Whichever field, either in our own university, at work also we might be having some specific niche areas that we are working in. But our aim should be such that we have understood it thoroughly. And Adhyatma Shastra also is like that, spiritual knowledge, that whenever we study it, that approval of our understanding should come from Buddha Jana. So Goswamiji's work also, as we had seen earlier, Madhusudana Saraswati ji had endorsed it. So that is this Buddha Vishrama. Everybody thought, what kind of composition this is. It's not in Sanskrit, it's in vernacular language. So they took it to Buddha Jana. So that is this Buddha Vishrama, making sure that we are honest in learning any knowledge, but also we make sure that we have understood it by getting approval from Buddha Jana. And this knowledge is such that whenever we are able to understand something very clearly, that itself gives a lot of joy. You must have seen in whichever field of knowledge that you might have studied, if you are able to become subject matter expert, you thoroughly know what that subject is, that itself is the motivation for the sadhaka to do that work. That itself is a joy for this sadhaka. And other things which are there, that is Sakala Jana Ranjani. Making sure that it is presentable, it is in a way that not with the same kind of rigor with which it was done. This presentation, that is how they give, right? Most of research work and everything. When you do it, if you read the paper, you barely understand anything, what they have written there. But when they have to present it, it will be just, the key findings which are there. Even anybody who doesn't have the background also can understand it. So Goswamiji says this Ram Katha is like that. If we have the eye to look for those nuances, we will find a lot of jewels here. Rama Katha Kali Kalusha Bibhanjani. And again this point comes that Rama Katha is going to remove the Kalusha. Kalusha means impurity of Kali Yuga, which is there in our own heart. So whatever abhyasa is done, right? Abhyasa means what? Repetition. Again and again that point keeps coming. That means Tatparya is in that point. Tatparya means essence. So if one point Goswamiji has to convey to us, one of the ways of doing it is to repeat it in several places so that we don't miss it. And we understand, this is the importance of this text. So that is the contribution of Bhakti Marga and devotion to Bhagwan. If you are looking for a calm mind and a pure mind, we don't have to go too many places to find solutions. Now from this portion, that Rama Katha Kali Pannaga Bharani, Goswamiji is pointing out Mahatmya of Rama Katha. Mahatmya means greatness of this Rama Katha. Those of you who might have studied Bhagavatam, there also in the beginning, we start with Bhagavata Mahatmya. Means what is the greatness? What is the Phalashruti What is the result of studying Bhagavatam? And generally what happens is when we study or listen to that Mahatmya, we feel, oh my, what are they exaggerating so much? This will give that, this will give this result and that result. Children also have this question that why so much, results are given over here. It looks like a very, outrageous claim that this will give so many things. So why is Mahatmya written in general? Mahatmya is there so that our Shraddha increases in this particular Grantha. What we are looking for is a result, but that sambandha, that relationship between that result and this text, that is established through Mahatmya. And it is not, they are just writing out of their own fanciful imagination. They would never do it. Somebody like Goswami Tulsidas Ji, they would never write Mahatmya or Phalashruti just out of their own imagination. One thing to note about these texts is, this text, although it is composed by an individual, it is Hari Prerita only. What we just saw, right? Tasa kahe hu hiya Hari ke prere. That I am saying this because I got this prerana, I got this inspiration from Bhagavan. So that is one aspect, it is not composed by just another jiva. It is composed by Bhagavan only. And what is the object of this text? It is not another thing from this world. That object also is Bhagavan. So composer is Bhagavan, and the one about whom this text is describing is also Bhagavan. When that happens, then these mantras, these chaupais become mantras. They have their own phalashruti even for chanting it. Even in stotrams and all, whenever we see, right, if you chant it once, then you get this phalam. Chant it thrice, you get this result. That has the same theme. It might be composed by one individual, but they themselves claim that I have not composed this. This is Bhagwan's inspiration with which it has come together. Those of you who might be familiar with Ramaraksha Stotram, Vishwamitra Rishi writes over there that this was revealed to me by Lord Shiva, and then I have just composed it. And then Phalashruti becomes meaningful. It is not only one jiva who is composing, and object of this text is Bhagwan only. So the root of Ramcharitmanas or any stotram that we study is in Upanishads. And Phalashruti always will be in line with what is said in Upanishad. Think of it the other way. Let us say if somebody composes a novel or some poetry, they will never write any kind of Phalashruti. And they cannot say, or at least I have not seen anywhere, if you read this novel thrice, then you will get this phalam. Any phalam it might be, any result. Because it is composed by a jiva, and object of that work is another thing of this world only. So with that in mind, we should read Mahatmya. Okay, that it is not mere casual statement which is made. It is for us to increase our Shraddha in Ramakatha. And also, once we do that, for us to study with that kind of bhavana. So what is Goswamiji saying now? Ramakatha kali pannaga bharani puni viveka pavaka kaha arani. This Ramakatha is like a peacock. And peacock eats snakes. So Kali Yuga is like that snake. And Ramakatha is like that peacock. Pannaga means a peacock. And now several examples is giving. What is this Ramakatha like? It is like that wood to bring out fire. What is this wood? Wood is Ramakatha, and that fire is Viveka. So if you want to ignite Viveka in our heart, in our mind, then the Ramakatha is like that wood. You have to keep churning it so much so that a spark of Viveka can come out. And then he says, Ramakatha is like that Kamadhenu. Whatever we want, that we can ask. And many people do this. Even if we have any Sakama desire. Sakama desire means desire something is there, then doing this Parayanam, keeping that in mind. Okay, that Bhagwan, may you bless us with whatever it is. Sujan Sajivani Muri Suhai. If we have headache, we can apply some balm on the forehead. But if there is some ache inside, some kind of agitation inside, no external remedy can work. So Goswamiji says, the ointment for inner mental agitations is Ramakatha. Sujana Sajivani Muri Suhai. We just have to, but only thing, the way to apply it is through ears. It has to go inside, and then inside it will do its work. And for forbearance, for taking on lot of things from this world, it is like Mother Earth. And also it is like nectar on this earth. If there is any Amrutam available, it is said it is this Ramakatha. Bhayabhanjani Brahmabheka Bhuvangini. And whatever emotions are there, like fear, anxiety, to eat all of these emotions, which are like those frogs, Ramakatha is like snake. Bhayabhanjani Brahma Bheka Bhuvangini. Asura Sena Sama Naraka Nikandini. It is the one who destroys all our negative qualities, like Bhagwan destroys all asuras. And like Durga Devi, who protected all sadhu purushas. This Ramakatha is like that. Sadhu Bibuda Kulahita Giri Nandini. Santa Samaja Payodhi Ramasi. All these analogies are such that if you have traditional Ramakatha anywhere, they will elaborate on each of these things for several days. They will find the similarities and this and that, so many things. But in some places you will see, if not all. So this one, Santa Samaja Payodhi Ramasi. So Ramakatha is like this ocean, the Milky Ocean. And for that Milky Ocean, it is like Lakshmi Ji. So what is the uniqueness over here? That Lakshmi Mata, what she did was, after she got married to Bhagwan, she didn't go out of Milky Ocean. She made Bhagwan come there. Which is this Ramakatha is also like that. Sadhu Purushas, they are like this Milky Ocean. And from that comes Ramakatha. And that Ramakatha brings Bhagwan in their heart. They don't have to go anywhere. Bhagwan comes in their heart. Santa Samaja Payodhi Ramasi. Biswa Bhara Achala Chamasi. All topics are discussed. Means whatever things that we would want to know for our daily life, for our Vyavahara and in Paramartha. All of that is discussed. That is why it is like very patiently Goswamiji has elaborated, like how Mother Earth, she bears so much with a lot of patience. Next analogy is wonderful. Jamagana Maha Masi Jaga Jamunasi. For Jamaganas, means Duta of Yamaraja, she is like Yamuna ji, who puts black suit on their face. Now you wonder what kind of an analogy is this? Ram Katha is like Yamuna ji who puts black suit on the face of Yamadutas. And this we have seen, right? Whenever they do any play or anything, Yamadutas means they have to have some black suit on their face. Lot of these inner meanings Goswamiji has written in Vinaya Patrika. So there he says that Yamuna ji is Punya. She represents Punya. And whenever Yamuna ji swells, right, like when Bhagwan Krishna was crossing Yamuna ji, it is this Punya which is now growing in the heart of a seeker. And when that happens, any Papa karma which is there, that gets this black suit. So Yamadutas, they go and they are, on their way to catch those who are doing Papa karma. But because of Ramakatha, which is like this Yamunaji, it has swelled in the heart of the seeker, that Papa karma tendency has gone down now. So Yamadutas cannot come near them. Another interpretation is that Yamunaji is sister of Yamaraja, because both of them are Surya. Their father is Lord's son. So she is sister of Yamaraja, and it is said she is elder sister. So she can boss over Yamaraj also. So if Yamaraj comes and sends his dutas, she would put suit on their face and send everybody back. Yamaraj would quietly sit. He cannot do anything because she is elder sister. This is not given in Vinaya Patrika. Huh? The previous one is from Vinaya Patrika. There Goswamiji says that Yamunaji represents Punya karmas. That when Ramakatha comes in the heart, Punya karmas increase, and that itself gives joy, and Yamadutas, are kept aside. Jivana Mukuti Hetu Jana Kasi. If somebody drops the body in Kashi, it is said that person gets liberation. But this Ramakatha is even better because while living, this person is liberated. Jivana Mukuti. Rama hi priya pavani tulasi si, tulasi dasa hitahiya hulasi si. Just like Bhagwan loves Tulsi, Lord Vishnu, in the same way, this Ramakatha is like that. Bhagwan loves this Ramakatha so much. And this Ramakatha does so much good to this sadhaka, just as my mother would do to me. Hulasi is the name of Tulsidas ji's mother. So he's saying here, Tulasi Das Hita. This Ramakatha has done so much good to me, just like my mother would have done. Sivapriya Mekala Saila Sutasi. What is this Ramakatha? It is as dear to Bhagwan Shiva, just as Bhagwan Shiva likes Narmada ji. So Bhagwan Shiva, Sivapriya Mekala Saila Sutasi means Bhagwan Shiva loves Narmada ji, and in the same way, he loves Ramakatha. Now, how does Lord Shiva love Narmada ji? It is said near Omkareshwar, in one of the Jyotirlingas, in Narmada river, there are those Banalingas. I think some of them that we have here might be from there. So the Shivalingas which are there are found in Narmada river, and they are called as Banalingas. So Lord Shiva, he doesn't even mind, because if it's a river, people might walk over there, or so many other things might be there. But he says that is his love for Ramakatha, which is in the form of Narmada ji. Sakala Siddhi Sukha Sampati Rasi. This Ramakatha is such, it will bring sampati, lot of good values. How? Because he mentioned mother, he remembers Aditi ji from Purana, who was the mother of all devatas. He says Ramakatha is like Aditi ji, who is the mother of all good virtues that we can have. Sadguna Suragana Amba Aditisi. So Ramakatha is mother of all Sadgunas. Raghubara Bhagati Prema Parimitisi. Bhagwan's devotion, the peak of it, if you want to see, that one can see in Ramakatha. Next chaupa is also very beautiful, Doha. It is oft, quoted. Ramakatha Mandakini, Chitrakuta Chitacharu. Is describing that whenever we might have gone to some pilgrimage spot, wherever it could have been, there was some very special attraction that our mind felt in that pilgrimage spot. But the downside of that is, once you go away from that place, then your mind again and again wants to go back there. Chalo mana Ganga Jamuna Tir. You might have seen it sometime, and then again mind wants to go to that same place. But what to do? I have to, work. I have to come back to my town and live my life. So Goswamiji says there is a remedy. You can make your own mind as Tirtha Kshetra, Manasa Tirtha. Oh, really? I can make my mind as Manasa Tirtha? Yes, in the same experience that you got in that pilgrimage spot, sitting at home, if you are able to do our sadhana sincerely, same Tirtha Kshetra can come in our mind. So what is it that we have to do? So Goswamiji says, Ramakatha Mandakini. Keep chanting, keep listening to Ramakatha. This Ramakatha is like this Mandakini river that flows in Chitrakoot. So now he's taking us to Chitrakoot. One Chitrakoot is in that physical place. He's saying how to bring that Chitrakoot inside now. So Chitrakoot outside has Mandakini river. In our heart, we should have this river of Ramakatha, which is Mandakini. Chitrakoota Chitacharu. What is this Chitrakoot? Outside it is that place. He says inside it is a pure mind. That pure mind which has Ramakatha constantly flowing, that mind is Chitrakoot. Means our Mahatva Buddhi should be there in Ramakatha. We might not be able to memorize everything, although we should keep trying. But our mind should get pulled more and more towards Bhagwan. So this is Chitrakoot. And in Chitrakoot, what is there? Tulasi Subhaga Saneha Bana. There is this forest, because river is there and fertile land is there. So there is a lush green forest. What is it? That forest is of devotion. Very thick forest, and trees are very well blossomed. And those trees are in our own heart, which is devotion to Bhagwan. Tulasi Subhaga Saneha Bana Siya Raghu Veera Biharu. In that forest, Sita ji and Bhagwan Ramchandra ji, they roam around. They roamed around in Treta Yuga in Chitrakuta outside. But today, if we want Chitrakoot darshan in our heart, Goswamiji says, let the river of Ramakatha, Mandakini river, flow in our mind. Let that mind be calm and fertile, just like that Chitrakoot. And maybe increase our devotion to Bhagwan more and more. And in that mind, there is Shanti and Ananda Swarupa Brahma, Sita ji and Bhagwan Ramchandra ji, who are just roaming around. Now this also, it's very interesting, the way Goswamiji has written in Vinaya Patrika, the sequence is also same. Means whatever Vandana he is doing in Ramcharitmanas, in the same sequence he has written lot of letters to Bhagwan, singing glories of each of them. So one we saw about Yamuna ji, what her black color represents, all Punya Karma. And when it comes to Chitrakoot, Goswamiji has written two songs. on Chitrakoot. I won't go through the whole thing. I saw one line which was very interesting. Goswamiji says that Chitrakoot is so great that when Nala from Mahabharata and Yudhishthira, they came to Chitrakoot, their minds became calm. Their mind became pure. All the agitation that they had because of whatever had happened to them before, everything went away. So then I was also curious, how come Goswamiji is writing Mahabharata reference in Vinaya Patrika? The closest I could find is the story of Nala Damayanti, some of you might be familiar with, that after this king Nala leaves Damayanti and goes on his own, the place where he stays was Chitrakoot, somewhere near that. And the king who comes, right, Rituparna, he was the king of Ayodhya. So Nala's story is that. And Yudhishthira, I was wondering, how come Yudhishthira went to Chitrakoot? So when they go for exile, the Pandavas, they spend time in Kamyaka forest and Dvaitavana, which is said is near to Chitrakoot. And this is where they meet Markandeya Rishi. And Markandeya Rishi, the first time he sees Yudhishthira, he smiles. And Yudhishthira wonders, he says, Rishi, you are the first one who is smiling. I mean, he's not, giggling or anything. He just has a very reassuring smile. And Yudhishthira asks Markandeya Rishi, tell me, why are you smiling? And Markandeya Rishi says, I remember the time when Bhagwan Rama walked over here just like you. Because Markandeya Rishi was Chiranjeevi. He had boon from Lord Shiva that he could live long and young. So he says, I remember I have also seen Bhagwan Rama walk the same way like you are walking over here right now. And it is said when Yudhishthira stayed in Chitrakoot, Dvaitavana, he loved his time in the forest. That was the best time because he used to listen to Vedanta lectures. He used to discuss, Vedanta topics with all other rishis who were there. And he never felt that whatever has happened to him was something that cannot be overcome. It's a very great assurance that whatever things happen to us, whatever difficulties sometimes they come, Ramakatha and Vedanta knowledge, it gives that confidence saying that whatever has happened, I can get over this. So it is that Yudhishthira, when he stayed in Dvaitavana, that was his feeling. So that same Dvaitavana is our Chitrakoot. And one is Chitrakoot outside. What Goswamiji is saying, let us bring that Chitrakoot inside. Okay, so we'll pause here. We'll do our Nama Sankirtanam. Aganita Guna Gana Bhushan Rama, Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama, Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama, Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama, Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama, Papa Vimochana Shri Rama, Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama, Jaya Raghurama Jaya Sita Rama, Vanara Sevita Shri Rama, Varidhi Bandana Jaya Jaya Rama, Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama, श्री राम जय जय राम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।